Okay, I'm here. I was late because I realized, oh shit, I've got like a post that's got to go out and it's a video and it's because it's a Patreon thing. And so I'm like over here behind the scenes, like trying to get this out before I turn my mic on. Okay, all right, I'm here. And Buttons is here. She is asleep in her poof. And Ashley is asleep on her bed. But I'm here. I'm finally here. Hopefully, you guys see me. I am super excited about this one. You guys are like going crazy with this whole like chatting. You guys are here and like here for it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Um, I really like scheduling these live streams. So shout out to Erin for that request because it's just cool that way. Um, okay. I kind of wish I could show you the dogs with their things. Look, okay. Oh, I'm getting sidetracked. Okay. Hello, it's Tori from Calypso Creative Planning, and I'm back with another live stream that I'm super excited about. And I wanted to show something to you guys that it just didn't work out. Like, do you see this right here? I went out to the garden today and I was like, I'm going to pick some flowers from the garden and I'm going to create a lovely bouquet and I'm going to show it on the video. Look, you can't even see it. Even if I raise this, like, okay, come on, go. Even if I raise this all the way up, it's like you still can't see it. But, like, I want to show it. Look at my bouquet. I made this. Let me move this. I'm scared I'm going to, like, dump water on my screen and that is going to suck. But look, I made this from my garden. Y'all, this is from my garden. How fun is that? I mean, some of the flowers are not the prettiest, but some of them, they are. And like, y'all, this is from my garden. Okay? And I'm just hoping no tiny spiders or bugs or whatever come out of this. But like, look, it's so cute. And like, this is the first time I've ever had like a green zinnia. Like I didn't even know that was a thing until I found the seeds. And then I've got these pretty pink daisies and cosmos. And like, I think these are bachelor buttons. I don't know, they're so cute. There's some blue ones and there's like one purple one. But like, look, and then some like, what is this? The black-eyed Susans and like a couple different colors. But like, look how pretty they are. So I did a little video on my TikTok this morning and wow, this one looks really pretty today. So I just, it's just exciting, okay? They're not all the prettiest. So if you saw some of these in person, you'd be like, why did you pick that? But I just wanted to, okay? Because look. And then I also heard that if you don't pick these, like from your garden, if you don't pick them, then like the plant sees it as like, okay, we're done. And so it only produces so many. But if you pick them, then it'll keep producing. So that is what I'm going for. But like, what the fuck, y'all? Look, it is a hot pink daisy. Okay, so I just had to share that with you guys. But I figured like you wouldn't want to be this far away from the iPad. So we're going back down. Because that feels, okay, now, okay, where are we at now? Let's go here. Okay, that feels a little better. But like, oh, it's just so cute. Oh, look, oh, can I get some in here? Let's see. Oh, let's go with that because that makes me happy to have some of this here. Okay, I feel like my iPad's really far away from me now. Like what's happening? Let's adjust this. And then we do this here. And then, okay. I'm so scared there's going to be like a tiny bug. If you guys remember that one time I was like, oh, I'm going to bring in some rose petals and it's going to be pretty. And then there was like tiny bugs everywhere that was like trying to crawl out during the live stream. That was not cool. So I really don't want that to happen again. What's going on with you? Why are you look so sad. I don't know. This one's like crazy. It's like two-tone of like pink and so I don't know what's going on with that. But we're going to go with this. I don't know. That may be just I don't know if that's going to work out. But okay. So, here's what we're doing today. And you remember the bug incident? It was like I had to like literally run out screaming like tiny bug murder. I'm so sorry. Flashbacks. Okay, so hashtag never forget, Erin. Oh my gosh. Okay, so You guys have seen my tiny journaling before, and I feel like I've been a little behind on this. So, okay, let's go to a really good month. January was a really good month for my tiny journaling. Let's go here. So, you remember this. Lovely, lovely, right? And then February, super lovely, right? So, normally how I do these, excuse me, normally how I do these is I will have like a Procreate file that is like 1500 by 1500, so it's not too big, so we're not pulling in like big heavy images to put in here, and then because it's small anyways, but so I'm like pulling those in there and, you know, cropping things and doing whatnot, you know, like cute little buttons here and stuff like that, and pulling that in here. And then I progressed to, was it this one? I don't think it was this one. That maybe it was this one where I started doing, yeah, so I think it was this one where I started doing stuff in Procreate where I had like the overall shape and for like the daily block, and then I started putting things in. I think it started because I got behind on like a couple of these months. And let's see, April was good, but this was another one where I started doing like these little blocks here where it was like I built out the block in Procreate and then pulled it in here. So you see like all of these little things, you know, I laid these out in Procreate and pulled it in as like one piece, right? And that made things easier, I think, like doing these designed blocks. And what I mean by designed blocks, let's go to Procreate. And I have a stack here for tiny journaling. And let's go to, okay, so let's go to May. So this is what I meant by like I was doing the blocks in here. Let me turn on a background. Let's give it a color just to have something so you can see it. So like this is where I was like laying out the blocks in here. And then I could just like copy it and paste it in there and then write little stuff. Okay, hang on. What do y'all do? Erin, new tip on your pencil. Yes. Okay, so I went a little crazy the other day. And I went paper like crazy. Okay, so look. I got the little glove, right? And I had to go with paper like because most of the little artist gloves, they have fingertips all the way to the end. And I can't do that with my nails. So like I got the little glove, right? Let's do the little glove. Okay. Because, yeah, okay, turn it right. Get my little glove going. I got my little artist glove because I want to do, you know, more stuff in like more drawing stuff. So I got the glove, right? Have to go with the fingerless because you can't fit those in a glove. That's really hard. Okay. And then I got, okay. So I got the grips too, but then I haven't decided if I like this grip better than this grip. Okay, so just haven't decided that yet, but I did get those grips. And then I got the pencils, the pencil tips. So they're like this little, can you guys see that? So I didn't know if it was going to be like, you know, have a texture to it, like the paper-like thing. Like the screen protector, because I have the paper like screen protector. So I wasn't sure if it was going to have that texture to it. And it's still pretty smooth as compared to, let me see, where are you at? Little tip. I got it. I still got it. Okay. Here's my other one. So, you know, like that. It looks so tiny there. But so I did swap it out to the new tip, and it's really just like you just unscrew it and you put it on. I have another tip that I was using that looks more like a little pin, but then some people were reporting it scratching their screens, and it scared me, so I just took it off. Don't ask me where it is. It's around here somewhere. But so I wanted to try this out, and I like it. It's not a huge difference, but price wise, it's comparable to like the regular standard tip. So I don't know if there's like a little preference. But I'm gonna put this back over here. Just okay. So, but yeah, I'm testing it out to see what I think. See if there's any noticeable difference. So far, I haven't noticed a difference, but it does say that it's supposed to be 10 times more durable than the Apple tips. So, I don't know. But it does give you like a fun pencil feel to it. And one of these days, I'm going to look into creating wraps for my pencils that I designed. Like, we're going to see. And then it could just like the whole customizing thing going on here. So, I'm still not sure about the glove. I don't know. We're just still getting used to that. But I'm going to leave it on just because I put it on already. And says, I used to have little cover tips that were supposed to make it like a paper feel. They were okay, but wore out quickly. Yeah, I don't know. Those seem like, I haven't tried any of those. But yeah, I would test them out if you guys wanted to get my opinion on them. Not that my opinion matters hugely to you guys, but if you wanted it, I would test it out for you. But I will say that the pack of these, they now sell them on Amazon. I got an email from Paperlike saying, hey, we're doing it. We're putting these on Amazon, and there was like a 10% off coupon. I missed it, ordered it. Then I got another coupon. So it was like, okay, well, what's up with that? But it's okay. But price-wise, they price out the same as the Apple tips for a 4-pack. I have changed my tips a couple times. Because I did actually wear through the end of it, my first tip, and then I lost the second one that came with it, so then I had to get another one. I don't know, it's the whole thing. So, we're going to test these out and see what we think. I will say at first there was like a little edge to it that I didn't like, but then I was just like, you know, and then it smoothed out and it was fine, so I don't know. But I really do like the screen protector from Paperlike, so I was like, I'm going to try this out and see. And then they went to Amazon and was like, okay, yeah, let's check it out. So I'll put a link to it in my Amazon shop, so you guys can grab those quick. Don't let me forget, and y'all remind me, because I will forget. You know me. So, but I'll put them in there, and we're just testing it out, see what you think. Okay. Okay, back to this. That was a fun segue, fun little tangent there. But okay, so when I was doing my tiny journaling in Procreate, I went to this type of format where I could have like these different little layouts. And look how many times I journal with buttons. But I really liked doing these because, wow, damn, the difference. Oh my gosh, the garden does not look like this now. That's crazy to see. That's really crazy to see. It does remind me that I need to add some more straw. But, wow, that's just crazy. That's absolutely insane. But doing like the pre-made layouts, like figuring out my layouts in Procreate and then putting them into my tiny journaling, I feel like helped a lot. And you could do like cute little things to it. But here's the downside of doing this. Is that every time you move something, resize something in Procreate, the quality goes down. And when you're working with, not a lot, but a little, but when you're working with an even smaller canvas, like this one, because like I said, I started out with a 1500 by 1500, but then I sized it specifically for my blocks in my calendar. So it's 1500 by 1144. So I mean, it's small. Like, it's not a huge canvas, and I did that on purpose so that you don't have like huge files, right? But the problem with Procreate is resizing things. If you're trying to figure out, well, what if this goes here, and what if that goes there, and what if every time you resize something, it gets a little more blurry, especially when you're small. So when I started doing it for July, because we can't even talk about June, because look, if we're looking at June, I guess we can talk about June. But if we're looking at June, okay, so that was April. This was May. Got a little lost. That's okay, it happens. And then we're talking about June. What the fuck? I don't know. I got photos, I just haven't put them in here. That's okay. But I wanted to pick back up with July. And so in July, I started playing around the other day with, I really like doing like the photo collage type of look because it's working. And when I have lots of photos, and it's just really fun to go out and like figure out photos. And the hubby is kind of got invested to the point where, is that going in the journal today? Or like, is this your photo of the day? Which is really cute when he does that, by the way, because damn, that's just adorable. So when I started laying out these blocks for July, especially when I got to this one, I was having trouble because I couldn't decide where I wanted things. And then this little bumblebee, look how blurry this bumblebee got because I had resized it 2 or 3 times to try to fit it into a grid. This, by the way, was heavy pruning day. So it looked like garden murder out there. It was a little sad. So, but it got super blurry, and I was like, that was just really, really frustrating me because the bee is fucking adorable. Okay. So then I started literally I did several of these. And like this one, you know, where I was like, it was cute, right? I want to play around with this, but you resized it a few times and it gets blurry. And I was like, I don't want to do that. I want it to be pretty. Okay. So then I was like, let's play around with Affinity Designer because I use Affinity Designer on my computer all the time. I'm like, I don't want to say I'm a pro at it, but I'm pretty confident in my skills on the computer with Affinity Designer. On the iPad, not so much. Okay, it's a little different. The processes are different. Some of the ways you do things are different. Some of the, like, you don't have keyboard shortcuts, and I love my keyboard shortcuts. Okay, love my keyboard shortcuts. So I've used it before. Like, here's an example where I wanted a journal page and I wanted to lay it out, and like, yes, you do have snapping in Procreate, but it's not the same as in Affinity Designer. So here was like a page that I'd laid out a while ago in Affinity Designer to play around with, like, you know, doing all these things so it could come in as like one photo into my journal. And once again, in Procreate, everything just kind of gets a little blurry. So let me go find this page. Was that May? No, it was. Okay, you know what? Let's just find it this way. Oh, here it is. Okay, so see how like I pulled it in as like one photo, and I could turn the background off and then, like, you know, add my text to it. Very cool. And in Affinity Designer, I can have like snapping and all of that. So everything can like line up. And oh, now. Okay, quit that. Go back. Go perk, you little motherfucker. There we go. Sorry. Got a little testy with it there with the double tap because it just was done. Anyways. The snapping, I don't know, everything just feels better. You have like vector cropping to where like you can have your picture, but you like crop off some edges, but you don't lose those type of things. So that's what I wanted to play with in Affinity Designer. So I set up 2 different ones. So this one, let me turn off this. So we're looking at the same day comparatively. Okay, so this was that same day where I was like doing with the bee. Okay, look at the bee. Bee is great. The bee is doing its thing. Okay, so if we're comparing this bee to coming over here and Procreate, and well, you gotta go all the way out. Okay, and then we're comparing this bee. There's a difference. Okay, can I see? Oh, look, Erin, I'm using your trick, right? So like, there's a difference. Okay, and also with Affinity Designer, I can lay these out. They're all on their own layer. And then I can like apply a border to it. I can apply shadows, like automatic settings. I'm a semi-automatic settings. I can turn them on and adjust them, whatever. But like, I really like it. Okay. And I use the same settings size-wise. And I also have like, I created these little guides here so that I could snap to the guides and then turn them off so that I get that little border of color. I've got my little color block so I can alternate, and it's just, I don't know, it's just, I really like it. So see, look at the difference of that garden. That the garden is gardening, okay? And yeah, so I thought that I would share this. I don't know how much of this you want to see like step by step, or if you just want to ask questions and I show you. Y'all tell me. But let's look at, so this is how I've started doing it for July, where I've pulled in, like, I've got little stickers that I've pulled in. I've added like my little frames, and I've got my photos, and it's just really cute. So let's just look at July so far. I don't have all the days done in case you guys wanted to do those together. But see, this is some of my flowers that you saw here. This is my fresh veggies. My melon patch is finally doing its fucking thing. Like, took you long enough. But look at that garden. She is doing stuff, okay? She is doing stuff. And then look, my tiny carrots. It is so hard to not just pull those fuckers out of the ground. You just want to see what's going on. But once they're out, they're out. So we did pull more over the weekend. These are my fresh garden tomatoes on top of my pasta dish. And you guys have seen this a lot. My 4th of July stuff where we went to the movies for a little date night. And then this is where I made zucchini bread. And the hubby's like, what's the photo for today? Is it going to be zucchini bread? And I was like, yes, it is. So, and then this is where I like had some little flowers going on. My little garden friend with a little frog. Okay. So, and then this is, okay. So this was, I had like a little bee hanging out with, like, I don't know, it was like 15 bees on this one plant. It was crazy. Pretty flowers, got my nails done. This is where I just, we threw a bunch of garden fresh veggies in the pan and fixed them up for dinner or lunch. I don't know. And then this is, look at this. Talk about a harvest, okay? This is crazy harvesting. My big sunflowers are coming in. This is that melon patch. So like this was on the 9th as compared to this one at the 1st of the month. So, well, last of that month. But like that's the same plant, which is crazy. Look at that. Look at that. It's doing its thing. So, but I have some more stuff here. Okay, so let's see. Questions. Okay, Kristen says, what size is the canvas you're using in Affinity? Okay, so I sized mine to go specifically for this calendar. So, let's see. I'm trying to remember where everything is on this thing. Canvas. Nope, don't want to do that. Y'all, I'm over here trying to remember where everything, it's so different than the computer version, and I'm like, nope, don't want that. Nope, don't want that. I'm like trying to remember where everything is. Like, where? Well, that doesn't help me. Look, quit. There it is. Okay, so it is 3240 by 1440. Okay, that is the size. Why can I not just see it? No, that's not it. That's that one. Fuck. This one is 1500 by 1144. Where are my document settings? Artboards? No. Resize. Document. Can I not just see this? Cancel. I swear, like, this just, it's so different than your, like, I can just click on your settings. I'm like trying, so I'm great at Affinity on the computer, so just hang on. This is just, everything's just in a different place, and I'm still learning this, trying to figure out where everything is, because it just doesn't, it's just not the same. Okay, here we go. There we go. That's what I needed. This is what I was looking for. Damn, how many times I missed that? Okay, so 1500 by 1144 is this one. Okay, that is fitting perfectly with the with the calendar here, this calendar. Now, if you're wanting to do what I did here on my daily stuff on the weeks, these here, these blocks, if you're wanting those, I set up a canvas for that. Now that I remember what the fuck this is. Okay, so that is 1337 by 1638. Okay, that's what this is. I don't know. Trying to get something on my screen and click it. Okay. All right, so those are the sizes. Oh, that took forever to get that one. I'm so sorry. Like I said, I'm still learning these things. That is the grub worm that was eating my tomatoes. So rude. Okay. And says, I like this idea because you can use a lot of pictures without a huge file size. Yes. Kristen says, are Affinity templates a thing? Like, could you sell me some? Yes. If that is something you guys want, if you want some like tiny journaling templates or templates for certain things, y'all let me know. Because those can be used on Affinity, like on the computer or the iPad. Things are just, I'm still learning the iPad version because some things are just so much easier on the computer, especially when you get into keyboard shortcuts and it's just right clicking, like that's not a thing in this, you know, so there's just things that everything's in different places. Okay. Here. So it's there's some things that are different, but yes, if you want Affinity templates, let me know what you want them for. And I will make some because that's a fun thing. You can always like save it as a template so that you can like pop it in. So for instance, okay, hang on. We're going to see. I'm going to switch this over to this. Okay, this is what I'm seeing on my end, by the way. Okay, let me open this up just to give you an example. Let me hit save on this. So I'm gonna close. Well, I guess this could be a good example of a template. Let's see. Okay, here's one thing I like about this. I can, on the computer version, I can hit Z for zoom and then Control 0 and I can see everything. Can't do that on the iPad. Maybe there's a button for zooming differently, but I don't know. But like an idea for a template, for example, so I can say new and I can go to templates and I have a folder and I can come in here and be like, here's a sticker sheet artboard that's already set up with 3 pages and ready to go. So like templates are a thing. And so this comes in as untitled and I can do whatever I want with it. So that's just, you know, just to give you an example. Okay, let me go back to this. Put this back over here. Okay. So, but yeah, templates can be a thing. If you want templates for tiny journaling, if you want templates for social media posts, if you want templates for, I don't know, y'all tell me. But we can do templates. Let's see. Sugi says, let's do one for today together. Okay. Kristen says, yes. Erin says, use the question mark at the bottom right. Yeah. So this, if you press and hold that, it does tell you things. And I always forget that. But yes, that is a good point. Thank you, Erin. If anyone is more comfortable with Affinity on the iPad and knows a trick, let me know. But this, yes, this does help. If you don't know what's what, this does tell you. But there are functions that like, they're a little more hidden in the iPad version, or they just don't exist in the iPad version. Stuff that I'm used to in the computer version. So y'all just have to bear with me. Erin says, if you go to resize, it will tell you. Yes, here, resize. I mean, where does it tell you? I guess it tells me there and there. I don't want to like resize this, but but you can resize. Let's see. Or go to the adjustment ones. Let's see. Anne says templates are always fun. Kristen says, yes, please. I'd I'd love some Affinity templates. I typically learn backwards, if that makes sense. Yes, it does. So having a template helps me work with it rather than trying to build it on my own. Yep. Donna says, so you need a subscription for Affinity? Here's the best news. No, you do not need a subscription. So I pulled up the page here. So let me share that with you. I'm going to swap screens again. And here we go. This one. There you go. Okay. So with the Affinity product line, there is Designer, which, okay, if you are in, like if you're comparing it to like the Photoshop world. So Designer is kind of like InDesign, Illustrator. It's kind of like Illustrator. Photo is like Affinity's version of Photoshop, and then Publisher is like InDesign. So you can get a desktop version or an iPad version of all of these. You can buy them all individually. One-time payment, by the way, one-time payment. Or like, okay, if I click iPad and buy now, this is where you can see, you can get the Mac version, the Windows version, the iPad version, or if you want all of them, I have all of them, but that doesn't mean you need all of them. Okay. Don't get caught up in like, oh, I got to have all of them. Depending on what you're doing, you don't need all of them. But if you wanted all of them, go with the universal license, because that means you get all 3 programs in all 3 formats, all included, one price, no subscriptions. If they have a huge update, like they used to have like a version 1, and I had that, and I had the universal license. And then when they came out with version 2, I did upgrade. And so I got it at like a different price. Let's see if it tells you what the price is. Okay, so you get it for 25% off, which is good. Occasionally they will do sales. So if you want to wait for a sale, that's another option. But if you wanted the iPad version only, it's less than $20. And it's a one-time price, so it's not a subscription. But this is how you would get it. Maybe you can get it from the App Store. I'm not entirely sure. But one good thing about these is they all talk to each other. So I don't know how it works on the iPad version, but like, let's say you're working on the desktop version and you're doing something in Publisher, you can send it to Designer to do something there, or you can send it to Photo to do something there. And then they also have inside options of like, if you're in Designer, you can switch over to a Pixel persona to do something with Pixel stuff. It's not all the same features as Affinity Photo, but you do have some Pixel stuff. So it just depends. Like, and you can send it to all of these, but it is not a subscription. It's a one-time price. Yes. Okay. Just yes. And if you want to see more stuff with these programs, let me know. We can do like a workshop thing if y'all want to do something together. Because I'm trying to make a list of workshops that we can do. Because we're going to do a Notion workshop. I'm trying to get that stuff together. But that's book template related. But general Notion information is great. That will happen with that. That is one plan for this quarter. So yeah, but it is a one-time price. It is way better pricing than if you were looking at the Photoshop line of stuff, the Adobe stuff. I used to use Photoshop and I canceled that subscription. The only subscription I have from Adobe right now is Adobe Acrobat for PDFs, because I just can't do without that. But Affinity Designer, Photo, Publisher, like, yes, that is my jam. Okay. Because with like Designer, you can do vector and pixel stuff. And then with Photo, it's all pixel stuff with some really cool, I mean, you can do some cool things in there. Really cool stuff. And then if you're looking at Publisher, this is more like document editing. You can do so much with Publisher. It's just crazy. I mean, you can do so much with all of them, but it's just like, you can do a lot with a lot. There's more stuff that you can do with these programs than I know how to do. So you just keep going and going and going. let's see what else. Just said like the junk journal templates that are in the store that were introduced with the Boho Beauty. Okay, yes. The junk journal templates, like we've got some for Canva, but it would be great to do some for Affinity products, because with Affinity Publisher, let me see if I can pull up a good example. You guys may remember my junk journal, not the junk journal, the what was it? The words are hard. The vision board. The vision board. Thank you. I don't know who I'm thinking, but you know what I'm saying. Where did I put that? Did I put it somewhere else? Let me see. Maybe I put it here. Hang on. Give me a second, because that I did a version of it. Oh, I can go to my freebies. That's what I'll do. Let me go to my freebies, because I think I updated it there in the freebie vault. Let me see. Let me see. Vision board. Update. Yes, I did. Okay, we're going to look at this. So I'm going to let this open Affinity Publisher. If you have like the update for the, it's like a, I think it was, I said like 2022 update for the vision board. It was a template in Publisher. But like if you have Publisher, if it's a Publisher file, you can open it in Affinity Designer. There's some stuff that Affinity Publisher does that Designer doesn't. So like you could start a file in Designer and then send it over, or start a file in Publisher and send it over to Designer to do something else with it. And it's really cool. So one of those things is placeholders. So this is a template that we're talking about templates. This is one that you can get in the freebie file. I don't know if it's still there. I'll have to check. But it went out. It was the 2022 update where it's like, look at this. Look at this. So I'm going to do save as, and I'm just going to stick it, I don't know, I'm just going to stick it on my desktop, and I'm going to put today's date on this. See, what is today? 2025 07/15. Okay. Here. So with this template, for instance, you could come in here, and I'm going to take my tiny journal folder here. Okay, this is a folder I keep on Dropbox of, you know, all these things that I've showed you. You know, like there's a photo of buttons. So with this template, I could come in and I could just drag this photo into place, and then I can double click it and I can like move it around. I can like resize it and it's staying in that spot. Like I could do, you know, zucchini bread because that was lovely. And it's downloading these, by the way. That's why it takes so long. But so see, it's like a fun little template, and I could open this on my iPad and do the same thing and put it in these slots. You know, I could be like, you know, here, go to that one, and there's some veggies. You know, let's do. You guys love buttons, so let's find a buttons one. I should have more photos of buttons on here. Oh, there's a buttons one. Okay. Buttons. This is where she was in her clingy mood and like wanted to hang out in my lap, so I had to put her in her little sling. But like, see how easy that is, and you know, super simple. And I can change this and be like, hey, I want this outline to be pink, and I want this outline to be pink, and I want the background, you know, like that's on the master slide, but let's say I want that to be pink. Oh, come on, pink. Go to the master page. Pink, thank you. There you go. You know, like, I mean, very cool. Claudette says you can select several pics and then click a spot. Yeah, you can do all kinds of stuff. There's just like, it's so cool. Let's see, Anne says, ooh, we could use the junk journal templates to make Kindle inserts. You can do all kinds of stuff, like all kinds of stuff. So let's switch back to, let's go back to here. Okay. I'm going to put this back. Oh, fuck. So sorry. Stop it. I'm trying to click here. to go there. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's look at this. What do y'all want to see over here? So, who was it? Suki said, let's do a day. Okay, so I'm going to turn this off. What day am I at in here? So this would be the 10th. Okay, and I'm alternating colors, so it's going to be orange. So let's do the 10th. I'm going to go back and, what did I say, orange? I'm in orange. See it there in order. Okay, and I got my drop box over here. Well, let's just, I'm going to turn on my little guides. Okay, so the way I did my guides is they are literally just rectangles. And because of the snapping that makes it easier, I like to ungroup them so that you can snap to them a little bit easier. I'm just going to tap up here and I'm going to pull over my Dropbox, go to my folder. What did I say? We're on the 10th, right? Let me just double check. 10th, yes. Okay, so I'm going to go to the 10th. Okay, so here's a photo. I'll decide later what I want. That is the beauty of like not having to worry about my resizing things. Let's throw buttons in there. Okay, I'm going to get you out the way. And I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Okay, so since we're not having to worry about things in, like we're going to compare back and forth with Procreate. So hang on. Had to grab me some coffee. I'm like talking too much. Okay, so with Procreate, we're going to compare back and forth with Procreate. So with Procreate, if it goes outside the edges, it's gone. I heard rumors that on the new update, it's not going to do that. Like they're still going to retain that. I don't know. But when Procreate, when you pull in an image, it snaps it to the canvas size. In Designer, when you pull in an image, obviously it is that size. So I'm just going to resize this, and we don't have to worry about it like scrunching down the quality. We are just going to resize this until we know what we want. And I have this select tool right now. So I'm just going to stick these here, buttons and her cute little head. Okay. All right. So I'm going to hit the layers to get those out of my way. All right. So now we can start playing around with like what we want where. Okay, so I know I want buttons, and okay, so magnetics, by the way, this is where your magnetics are, so you can like turn those on, and there's like options if you want to look at those and see, you know, what you want. But I have my magnetics turned on, so that allows me to move things around, and it's going to snap to these edges. And if it's not snapping, tap it and tap it, and it will like, oh, that's what you want to snap to. And it just does that sometimes. So if it's not, see how this is not automatically snapping to there? Tap this so it recognizes it, and then it snaps to it. So, you know, that's kind of how it goes. Okay, let me see. I don't know that I need this one, but we're just going to like leave it here for a moment. And do I want buttons on this side? Maybe I want buttons on this side. So I'm thinking my number is going to go right here so it won't mess up her ear. Let's see. I really like this sunflower. I don't know about this one. I feel like I don't need two of those. I don't even know that I need this one. I mean, I kind of like this because I've got the blue flower in there. Okay, so let's say I wanted these two to be the same size, right? So if I go here, I can size those up so that they are the same size. And you can always come in here and turn off these other ones if it's like, hey, you're in my way, get out of the way. So let's say I want them to remain the same size. I want some spacing here about like that, but I also want it to fit here. So one way you can do this, I'm sure there's other ways, is I'm going to slide on this layer, okay? And I'm going to hit this, I'm going to say group. So now I can come in here and snap them together. Now, if you're working on like one photo, like if I turn this photo on, if I'm working on this one photo, I'm going to like press and hold, and then drag it up to the top. Okay, if I'm like resizing, I can do it this way. If you do this, it's going to squish. So I don't want that. So let's double tap. I swear, like, come on, double tap. There we go. Thank you. Why is that not working? Is it my nails? I don't know. So if you're doing a single one and you do it this way, then it works. But if I were to turn on like both of these and do this, it doesn't. I thought that if you press this down like at one finger and it would lock the ratio, but it doesn't. And I don't know why. If you were doing it on the desktop version, you wouldn't have that problem. So my workaround is I group them until I need to move them. And that seems to work. So I don't know, maybe I'm not so sure I want that one, but this one I really like. Now, let's say I want this one, but I don't want all of it. Okay, one thing you could do is this little tool is called the vector crop, and you could crop it like this. And so you could just have like part of it and switch back to selection. And so it's like lined up and it fits and you're good. Now I could come in and let's say I do want this one and I want it to come over here. I'm going to do this so it rotates. I could do that and be like, okay, let's snap it to here and then maybe adjust it like this. And then you could come in and crop this down to be like that. You know, like you could do that. Like that's not bad. Okay, that's not bad. Right? So, I mean, that could be a block right there. Like that looks good. Do I need all of these? I don't know. Do I want, like, I could do it to where, you know, maybe I want the sunflower to be big and I want this. Maybe I don't want this at all. So I could, if you're not sure, you could come in here and swipe all of these. Okay. And then I'm going to hit group. Okay. And then I'm going to come over here. I'm going to say duplicate. And I'm going to turn this one off so that I'm just messing with this one. I'm going to ungroup it because I feel like it just works with these guys better if it's ungrouped. The snapping works better to go back and forth. So let's say I don't want this anymore. Like I don't want it vector cropped. I could delete that. And then let's say I want this one to be, you know, maybe I want it to be like that. And then maybe I don't want this one at all. And delete that. And maybe I don't want this one at all. Oh, wait, let's ungroup those. Hang on. Ungroup. So maybe I don't want this one. Delete. But I do want this one. Okay. So I could do, you know, I could say one is prioritized over the other. I could do it to where it's like this. So you've got that little spacing. You could do one where like one overlaps, you know, I kind of like this. Okay. And then maybe I want some stickers in the background. Okay. So maybe I want some stickers in the background. Okay. So I think I'm done with my grid. My guide. So I'm going to select those and I'm going to say group. I'm going to turn it off. We're good. Okay. I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to group those. Now, for fun, I think I will also take these guys and I'm going to select those and I'm going to hit the stroke tool and I'm going to turn on the outline and I'm going to say 2 points and I'm going to do this and now they're all outlined. Okay? How fucking fun is that? How easy is that? Okay, and so now let's say I want to give them a little shadow. So I'm going to hit the FX button. I'm going to turn on the shadow. Click it, so now you get options. So this is a little drop shadow, so I'm gonna just slide over here like this, get a little shadow, and then maybe I want to take this and soften it a little bit with the radius, and look, so now I've got some drop shadows, you know. And then maybe I want to take this guy, we're still in drop shadow, let's go back to select, and maybe I want to take this guy and maybe I want to move it down a little bit. Maybe I want to move this one up a little bit. I don't know. Do I? Maybe. Okay, so I think I do. So I'm going to turn the guides back on. And I'm going to move that up a little bit. And I'm going to move this down a little bit. I think I like that. Okay, turn those off. So now let's say I want to add some stickers in the background. So I'm going to go over here to GoodNotes. You can pull in from Dropbox, that's fine. But I'm going to go from GoodNotes. And then let's say, okay, let's look at it again. This. Okay. So, oh, some glitter might be fun. What color is this? Okay, so what if we did, okay. What if we did some pink glitter? So I'm going to say copy. And then I'm going to go back over here. You can't do side by side with Affinity Designer, but you could do the little peeky thing with GoodNotes. And you could do the thing where like you tap and drag. That is an option if you wanted to do that. So just want to throw that out there. Like I could leave this here. I could do this. I could put this underneath. You know, I can make this a little bit bigger. And tap off, maybe. Okay, I kind of like that. Okay, let me do, you know, maybe I want something else. Do I want this green? You could also like copy and paste, and that works too. I don't think I like the green. Okay, delete. Maybe I want a yellow. Stick that here. Oh, nope, don't want to do that. Slow roll there, bud. Okay, quit. Two finger tap. Oh, quit. I think I stretched that a little bit. I don't want that. Okay, there we go. Put that there, and then bring this down here. Okay, and then what else can we put in here? I don't like the green on the orange, but how does this look? I mean, that's kind of fun. Put that under there. Just, can you even see that? I don't know. Maybe. Okay, so what if I took this guy, and I go back to effects, and I could say outer glow, and then we could just like adjust it a little bit. Okay, I kind of like that. So you get a little glow effect to it. Okay, all right. Go back to select, tap out, and I think I like that as is, right? I think I like that. That's cute. It's simple, right? So now I'm going to go up here and I'm going to say export. And I'm going to do JPEG just because like the file size seems to be a little bit smaller than if you do like PNG. If I say PNG, it says 2.46 megabytes using the same settings. If I say JPEG, 1.66 megabytes. So you can change, like the quality is at 100%. You could change that. I'm just going to leave it. And I'm going to say share. And I'm going to say copy. Now you could export it fully and save that image somewhere, but I don't want to just save it everywhere. So I'm just going to say share and copy. And then I'm going to come back to my GoodNotes. Let's go full screen. Back to my tiny journal. And then I'm going to press and hold, paste. Select this. Resize it here, like this. And then say go to the back. So I keep my number, and there you go. There's my little mini photo collage of the day. How cute is that? How fucking cute is that? I mean, look at it. It's adorable. Okay? Look how simple that was. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. You saw me play around with two different ideas for this same block and pull in some stickers. Now, another way you could pull in stickers is, like, let's say, let's go back here. So you're in this. I'm going to go over here to my layers. So if I'm in GoodNotes and I want to pull in this, I could say copy. I could come back in here and come up here and say paste, allow, and then there you go. There's this little thing, and I could, you know, put it here and press and hold. Oh, come on. Press and hold and drag it to the bottom, and it could go there, you know, if I wanted to do that. So, you know, that's how you do that. How cute is it? Right? Okay, so that is my little day. Now if you go back here, don't forget to do save or save as. So I'm just going to hit save, because what I did is this is currently saving in my tiny journal folder on Dropbox. So if I'm here, because I did a save as to put it in here, so you can see right here, both of these are saved here in this folder. So every time I hit save, it's like backing up here in my Dropbox. It's also on my Affinity account because I'm signed in, but yeah, so these are untitled. They are not saved. Those are, that's where I was playing around with things, but there you go. So if you wanted to create something new, you could be new document and you put in your sizes. Now, one thing I did is if you want to do this, we were talking about templates. So I did new and I put in my settings, and then you can come down here and like tell it to be a preset so that you don't have to do another one at like every single time. Like you could come in here and like I can see, you know, where is it at? It's at the bottom down here. See, I've got a preset. So if I wanted a new document, I could choose this one, and this is my journaling day, and this is like the weekday. So you don't have to do it every single time. Like I could choose this and be like, okay, let's make a new one. This one's for, you know, this one's for August or whatever, and it's here, it's ready to go. So I could just here, new document, and yeah, I don't remember which one I did, but there you go. Just okay. Oh, that's the one I did. Also, you can do, let me see, new document. If you're in one of these, you can change it. Let me see, where's it at? Oh, here. So it can be vertical or horizontal using the same dimensions, using this little button right here. So if you have like the same dimensions and be like, see day, and I do it as horizontal, then it's going to have those same settings, and now it's horizontal. So there you go. Let's see. Aaron says, yeah, do not hit the X in the corner without hitting save as. Yes. So like if like these are saved, I'm gonna hit save. Okay. Because this is saving on my thing. Save. But like if I hit the X, like it's gone. Do I want to close it without saving? It says if you close this document now, you will lose any changes you have made to it which you have not already exported or saved. You cannot undo this action. So make sure. Okay. So I am going to close that one, even though it scares me. But that's just one that I just made. So close and close. So there you go. All right. So do you guys like it? Is this something that you would do? I really, really like it. So, okay. This was that other one. And, oh, by the way, okay, so here's this example. There's no overlap or anything. So in this example, I could take this and on the layer, like not even selecting anything individual, just on that grouped layer, I can turn on the outlines all at once, and it does them all at once. And I could come in and turn on the shadow all at once, and it's all good. And because it's doing it as a group. Now, if you have overlap, okay, so let's go to one with overlap. This one is overlap. Okay, so with this one, instead of those settings being applied to the group as a whole, I did them individually so that I have this little shadow here. If I did it as a whole, then there wouldn't be shadow under this one. It would just be shadow over the group. Hope that makes sense. So, okay. What do you guys think? Is this something that you would do? Do you like it? Do you want to see more? Like, I know it's 11 o'clock, so I don't want to go too far over if you guys don't want to. But I also don't want to leave you with more questions than answers. So if there's something else you want to see, let me know. And says always save. This is the way. I love it. If I had Affinity Designer, I'd totally try this. More things to learn. Yeah, it's fun. I love Affinity Designer. I use it so much. So much. And so yeah, templates. If you guys want templates, like, let me know. I will set up some templates. If you would like to have like the junk journal templates, but for Affinity Designer or Affinity Publisher or whatever, they work hand in hand. Like, if y'all want that, let me know. But the iPad version, I'm still learning, because things are they just are different. They just are. Some stuff is much easier for me on the computer, just because that's what I'm familiar with. So I'm still learning the iPad. There's so much you can do with it. I mean, so much. So yeah, that is one of my things, is to learn more about the iPad version, because I just want to go. But here's where I was talking about you can switch to personas. So like, I can go up here and switch to pixel. So this is where I could like draw on it just straight up with like raster stuff. And then export persona, this is where you can export these. Like, if you had certain things, like maybe you wanted to export these individually, you could do that, as opposed to the whole thing. So it just depends on what you're needing. But once again, some of that stuff is a lot easier on the computer than it is on the iPad, at least in my opinion. But that could just be because I don't know everything on the iPad version yet. I'm very much still learning that. So if you have any suggestions, there's some great tutorials out there. There several tutorials, people who do so much with Affinity on the iPad. There's some people who start out in Procreate to sketch out designs and then pull it into Affinity to turn it into vectors. Because one thing about like raster images, which is Procreate, is if you start a certain size, that's the biggest you can go without degrading quality. That's it. The bigger you make your picture, like afterwards, then the more the quality degrades. Whereas Affinity Designer, if it's vector, you can keep going and going and going. Like, you can make this, draw something in vector this size and print it the size of a billboard, and because it's vector, the quality is the same. So there are benefits, definitely. So that's one thing that I want to be learning more about, is drawing in vectors. So I will share with you, definitely, the more I learn. But yeah, so this is one way that I'm using this for my tiny journaling, and I love it. I have to say that I really, really love it. And it's doing so good. Let's see. Kristen says, I love it. I just need a beginner's tutorial and then come back and rewatch. That makes sense. And says, I love being able to rewatch. That way I can go at my pace and learn. So fun. Yeah, you can slow down the video on the replay, and you can like pause. You can't pause me in person. That's really difficult. But yeah, so definitely go back and watch the replay. If you have other questions afterwards, like, let me know. If you think of something later, let me know, because I can do like a quick little Reels video if there's a quick answer, or we can do like a round 2. But I mean, look how fun this is. And that just came together just so quickly. And yeah, I just love it. And you could also do text in there if you wanted. Like, let's say in here, let's go back to, let's turn this one off. I'm going to rename this. And this is what? This is 10. Okay. And then this is also 10. So let's rename that 10 version 2. I don't know why I needed the dot there. There we go. Okay. All right. So let's say I wanted to do this, but I don't want like any of these things, like let's say I just wanted buttons, I could also come in here and there's two different text tools. So there's artistic text and frame text. So if I just did frame text, like, wait, did I just resize? I just resized the photo. Darn it, it was still selected. Okay, here. Let's do this. Nope, stop. There we go. Okay, so this is my frame text, and I could just be like, blah, 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 blah. I don't know what these words are, but like I can resize this. I can move this around. If I wanted this to, like, say, snap to this, I can do that. Snap to this, you know, pull this out there. And then you can, like, add your text, or you can do that in GoodNotes, whatever. Like, if you wanted to set this up and just export this as like this, so you have room to write your notes, and then you pull that in like what I was doing before, like, you could totally do that. So, yeah. All right, I'm going to delete that. I'm going to turn these back on. Not that last one, because I did not want that on there, but yeah, turn that off. Oh, and then this button clears your screen, so you can just see everything like this. So, just thought I'd share that. So, yeah. Okay. Any other questions about this? Oh, do you guys want to see some other things? Because we got some new updates. I forgot to share that. So, okay. This will be the last thing. Did you guys see that we have a new headers sticker book? This is new. So, I wanted, like, all the headers that we have, like, here with our corner notes, but I want them in, like, the functional sticker type of format. So I created this book, and just, yes. Okay. So you have all of these. So you've got, like, the code, but then you've got all of these little headers, and they just keep going. There's 2 pages for each color, and then you've got some patterned ones. You've got, like, a solid, and then the semi-transparent, and then some little patterned ones. So cute. But so you've got orange, yellow, pink, purple, which you have in the functional set. But then I also did green, because I've been seeing some people pulling out that green color a lot, and so I really like it. It's like a weird yellowy green. I don't know. And then brown, and then the soft cream color. Now, an example of these, by the way, would be on my current weekly page. This one. So I've started pulling in this. I mean, how cute is that? I'm combining the floral sunset with the dragonfly stickers, because I don't know, they just seem to work this week. So that just, yeah. So that's what I'm doing. Get over. Get over. So yeah. So I don't know. I just like them. So that's one thing. If you haven't seen the headers, or you haven't grabbed them yet, go get them. And then today, okay, book lovers, this is for you. We have our first ever early access drop in book club. So you guys have asked for, like, goodies in the book club. So what we're doing is we're doing early access drops. So once a month, there will be a drop of book related goodies that you will get as part of your membership if you're on the Book Besties tier or above, because we may bring back that higher tier. So sorry, flowers. So it's going to be a new drop. And then once the month is up, or like maybe it lasts for like a couple weeks or whatever, and then I'm thinking just the whole month, unless I get excited and want more goodies. I don't know. But once that is up, then it goes to the shop as a regular item. And then the early access goes away, and it's just like a link to get it from the shop. So this is the first one. So it is genres and tropes. They're stickers. They're so cute, and they're adorable. Okay. Well, I mean, they're basic, but at the same time, they're adorable. I don't know. But they're different little tropes like this. You got mafia, magical powers, masked men, kitten, you know, killer, romance, whatever. I mean, yes. Okay, just yes. Okay, and the way that you use these, you just pull them in like regular stickers, or you can do what I have done in some instances and use the freehand crop to do like the little torn edge look and then pull them in that way. So this is like an example of that. Here's another example where I pulled this one in here and I did the little torn edges. And for this one, I just pulled it in straight like it was. And I like them. Okay, I like them. So this is volume 1 because we're going to do some other ones. And I mean, I've already started making a list of other tropes because look, honestly, what I've been doing for these is, at least for this first round, is I went through my, let's just make this bigger, full screen. So I went through my ratings and let's see, do date modified. And I started with like some of my most recent ones because I've started doing like my rating graphics like this. So I started pulling from like some of these, and that's what I used to start out with, like the different like tropes. I thought that was a fun way to start, you know, and then I have plenty more to get through. But yeah, so I'm just going to start pulling some of these, and so it's going to keep going and going and going. So that is our first drop. They hit the book club today, and this is not teaser related other than I got really excited the other day and you'll see this tomorrow. There'll be a video for this, but I did another journal entry because I wanted something purple to go with this week's post. So I did a page for the wishing game, and look how good it turned out. That just makes me happy. So yeah, it just makes me happy. This is a good book, by the way. I need book 2 immediately, but I have a feeling it'll be like a full year or something before we get book 2. I don't know. I know she's working on another series that connects to this one, so I don't know. But yeah, so there you go. I'm trying to think. What other updates? Let's go back to my Notion. Not my Notion, my Noteful. Okay, so let's see. Sunday is when we do a teaser for what's coming up for the next bundles. And then next Tuesday, I'm thinking for the live stream, I will give you full-on teasers of like a preview of what's coming for the bundles. And then next Wednesday is when our August bundles go out. What the fuck? How did that happen? Like, I don't understand. Like, I don't understand. But that's next week. So, yeah. So, I really want to tease you now, but I'm not going to because I gotta save that. But the team will be getting stuff soon, so they can start playing with teasers. So come Sunday, teasers will start dropping. If not before, who knows? I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, okay. So that's all I got. We're 11:15. Is there anything else you guys want to see or have a question about? Or it says, but you can. I know I can, but should I? Okay, what would be a good flash teaser for you? Okay, hang on. Just hang on. Please hold. Hang on. Let me see. Just like a flash teaser. I don't know. We'll see. Hang on. Just stare at something for a moment. Hang on. Let me see. I don't want to give too much away. So let's see. I could do what? Hang on. Oh my gosh. See, I'm bad at this because I'm like, oh, what if I do this? And what if I do that? Okay. I will do this. I will do this. This will be a little teaser, just a little flash teaser, okay? Because y'all are like, okay, flash teaser. Okay, boom. That's it. That's all you get. If you want to see it again, go back and replay. That's all I'm gonna say. So, yeah, just okay. Get out of my way. Okay, that's it. That's all I got. That's all the teaser you're getting. Okay, that's all you're getting. Um, for now. Okay. Is there anything else you guys want to see? Oh, by the way, this page, this one, I did a screen recording, so it will most likely end up in book club as a bonus video, like a plan with me video. And then also, I realized this one, I have a screen recording of this one. So I did a Reels video the other day, but I did a screen recording of this one. And so this could end up in book club as a book journal with me video too. So just saying, okay, that's all I got. That is all I got. So anything else, or are we good? I'm trying to think of what else is happening today. I don't know. I'm also in the midst of trying to get all of this. I'm also trying to get out my next Skillshare class. So, because I had the goal of getting it out before the end of the quarter, but now suddenly I want to get it out before the end of the month because I've decided that it's a small enough class that I could probably sit down and record it in a day. If I put the dogs away and no one bothered me, we'll see how that goes. But maybe. I don't know. I just gotta, the outline is, the basic outline is there. Now I just gotta do the advanced outline and then start recording. So, we'll see. Let's see. Anne says, see y'all next time. This is fun as always. Erin says, ma'am, that pencil sleeve looks interesting when not on the pencil on the video. So, yeah. It might be me. I have problems. It's okay. It's okay. I understand. I understand you. You are heard. You are seen. It's okay. I totally get it. All right, that's it. That's all I got. Do you guys want anything else? Any other questions? Any Affinity Designer questions? Anything? I think that's it. That's all I got. I'm about to start a new audiobook while I get some work done. I don't know what work that will be, but yeah, I have a list. So we'll see if I stick to it. There we go. What? Why is this on again? I thought I turned that off. That's why you gotta save. Save. Thank you. All right, that's it. That's all I got. I will see you guys next time. This was fun. I hope you learned something. If you want templates for Affinity Designer, Publisher, whatever, both, let me know what you want. And I can do that. All right. I will see you guys next time. Ta-ta and toodaloo.